Clearly hearing from a number of ag industry leaders on this report, many who say they do appreciate the objective, but they disagree with the approach. Roger McEowen with the Washburn School of Law joins us now for more on this. Roger, always a pleasure. Your thoughts on this report when it comes to agriculture?
Well, good to be with you, Suzanne. Well, the ag sector is the food production sector, and the report is definitely an indictment of the current state of children's health. And it's citing poor diet and lack of physical exercise and chemical exposure and over-medication and the content of what's in the food that we consume. And to the extent, they're all interrelated to one extent or another. The real problem that the report cites is ultra-processed foods with added refined sugars and refined grains and synthetic additives, which is fueling the problem. And it's kind of a vicious circle that the food production system is in, according to the report.
So when it comes to this report, a path forward right now, and I've read some of your comments on this, that maybe this is more about innovation, less about regulation?
Yeah, I think that's the case. And I think there's a silver lining in this, particularly for smaller operations. And then the announcement by Secretary Rollins a week or so ago of new initiatives for smaller farming operations. And agriculture, I would say, is kind of split on this report. It really depends on who you listen to. There are sectors of ag that say, we told you so. But there's another segment of ag that points to the economics of the current food production system and the current supply chain processing system. And, everybody likes low-cost food. We've seen all the distress over just the cost of eggs that went up in prior months that has now mediated somewhat. But the question I think the report raises is it really low cost if it causes health costs to rise? And that's a question that the Ag Secretary and the ag industry in general are going to have to address.
Well, I want to switch gears now. I want to go to the budget reconciliation bill. Of course, we know now it's now going to the Senate after the House has passed it. Some of the most important tax provisions included. What stands out to you here?
Well, the big one is that it avoids a large tax increase for taxpayers. The lower to middle income taxpayers, a married couple making anywhere from about $25,000 to $95,000, would avoid a 25% bracket rate increase, along with a reduction in the standard deduction and a drop in the child tax credit. For ag, I think the big ones are the business-related provisions. 100% bonus depreciation would be restored. An increase in the Section 179 expense method depreciation write-off would be increased. And also the qualified business income deduction is retained and increased from 20% to 23%. I think those are the big ones for ag.
Hurdles right now that you see with the Senate dealing with this bill?
Oh, yes, there's going to be hurdles in the Senate, and they're probably going to take the entire month of June to debate this. The budget hawks, of course, such as Rand Paul, will want to see more cuts, and they don't want to see an increase in the debt ceiling included in the bill. So that's going to have to be negotiated carefully. I think other sticking points are going to be the SALT deduction, the state and local tax deduction, as well as the child tax credit. We're going to settle in on that. And these are, by the way, all things that I'll be talking about, Suzanne, in Santa Fe next week. We're going to dig into that on the 5th and 6th.
You're going to do a deeper dive on that. And by the way, where can people get their hands on these tickets, information on this seminar that's taking place? By the way, Santa Fe, a beautiful place, not only to pay a visit to that area, but also get all of this information from you. It sounds like a win-win.
Well, you can find that on my website. You can go to Washburn Law School and look for agricultural law, and you can find me, and the registration information is there. It's also available online, so we don't really have a limit in terms of the people that can attend, although there's a limit for those that are attending in person, and we still do have some seats available for in-person attendees.
I know it's going to be great. Thank you, Roger, as always, for all the information. Roger McEowen with the Washburn School of Law.